This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to Global News at 9 p.m. First, the highlights. Fubara swears in 5 commissioners. Reps endorse penalties for dual party membership. Court grants PDP factions permission to settle conversion dispute. Petron hails Dangote refinery domestic supply chain. Italy Prime Minister condemns massacre of schoolgirls in Iran. Iran pulls out of 2026 World Cup, and singer Timaya insists marriage doesn't work. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has sworn in 5 commissioners approved by the State House of Assembly to join his new cabinet. Speaking after the ceremony at Government House, Port Harcourt, Fubara described the Assembly's screening process as rigorous and expressed confidence in the competence of the newly appointed commissioners. The 5 sworn-in commissioners are Mr. Tonye Belgam, Professor Temple Nwafo, Dr. Peter Swago, Mr. Lekwe Kenneth, and Sir Amairiga Edward Hart. Governor Fubara, however, did not comment on the remaining 4 nominees who were rejected by the Assembly due to discrepancies relating to tax and other matters. Morrison Media Group has celebrated their 2026 anniversary with the theme Media's Role in Shaping Social Change, Addressing Inequalities and Empowering Voices. Our correspondent completes this report.
The Morrison Media Group held its 2026 anniversary lecture, bringing together media professionals, academics and public figures to discuss the role of media in promoting social change and addressing societal inequalities. The event, held on Tuesday, March 10th at the Dimeji Bankole Banquet Hall, Gate Place Hotel, Rumosi, Port Harcourt, was centered on the theme Media's Role in Shaping Social Change, Addressing Inequalities and Empowering Voices. Dignitaries present at the event include Professor of Media and Communications, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, President of the Council, Institute of Strategic Management, Sir Alex Ndudi Enebele, University Orator, Sir Alex Ndudi Enebele, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, Rivers State University, Dr. Sarah Joe, Professor Christopher, Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Rivers State Council, Dr. Paul Bazia, Dr. Ijema Acholonu, Dr. Ibere Kuki, Council members of Ignatius Adjunct University of Education, representatives of ACON and NBC, clergy members, and others. In his remarks, the chief host, Pro-Chancellor of Ignatius Adjunct University of Education and Chairman of Morrison Media Group, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, said the gathering was to celebrate another year of storytelling, service, and innovation by the organization. He noted that from his first broadcast to his current multi-platform presence, Morrison Media Group has remained committed to informing, entertaining, and educating audiences across the globe. Dr. Igwe also highlighted milestones recorded by the organization, including digital integration, public interest campaigns, progress in diversity, increased local content production, and community outreach initiatives.
We gather to celebrate another year of storytelling, service, and innovation at Morrison Media Group. From the very first broadcast to today's multi-platform presence, our company has grown because of a clear purpose to inform, entertain, educate, and connect people across the globe. That mission guides every voice on our radio airwaves, every film on our television channel, every lesson in our academy, and every billboard and street campaign that brings.
Earlier, chairman of the occasion, Sir Alex Ndudi Enebele, welcomed guests, and described the theme of the 2026 anniversary lecture as timely. He expressed optimism that the lecture will provide fresh perspectives from scholars and media professionals on the role of media in societal development.
The annual lecture series, if you were here or you listened to a clip of what happened last year, you will expect more today. Morrison Media Group seeks conversation with the public to inspire meaningful engagement, and to shape the future of media, the future of the social aspect of our culture, the social aspect of our lives in this side of the world. The 2026 theme, which is shaping social change, addressing inequalities and empowering voices, today is very apt, very, very apt.
Delivering the keynote lecture titled The Influence of Media in Shaping Social Change, Bridging Inequality and Empowering Silent Voices, Professor of Media and Communications, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, said the media plays a central role in social information by shaping values, ideas, and public discourse in emerging societies. Professor Armstrong explained that through communication processes, the media disseminates information, influences public opinion, and drives societal change.
Media being relevant to the people or influencing the choice of the people, very well seeps into, media influence theories that we know, in media studies. The theory of agenda setting, that says the media sets agenda for society. The theory of cultivation theory, which basically says that the media cultivates reality, for mankind. And then the academic needle theory, which presupposes that the media is so powerful that, or what you call the bullet theory, that once it disseminates on a large scale.
A panel discussion also featured media and communication professionals who examined challenges facing the media industry. The session also entertained questions and answers from participants, allowing attendees to engage directly with the panelists on pressing issues affecting the media and society.
Media, they are purveyors of information needed for transformation of society. Nigeria has come a long way in terms of development in media landscape. When we talk about media now, we're looking at it holistically, not from the broadcast point of view. I know that the organization is involved in the broadcast sector. We're looking at its both print and media. Media in Nigeria has really evolved.
In media circles, of course, we have one of the principles like I enunciated earlier about agenda setting. So one would have expected that the media, will actually set the agenda. So okay, this is where the media should focus its attention. This is where government or society should focus its attention. The media ordinarily has to be able to identify, a malaise or a problem challenging society and expose it, and in a way that it will stimulate, trigger government reaction. But you are quite right, which is why I find your question interesting. So what you find most of is reactive. Something happens, and then the media now decides to follow. Where was the media? Where was NT when all that road was dilapidated? Did they have to be blocked on the road for them to bring it to national consciousness? So that's a misplacement of road.
So I think we should practice journalism with responsibility. We should not just practice journalism as maybe we just want to be journalists, we just want to report events and all that. We should have in mind that our freedom comes with responsibility. And we owe that responsibility to the society where we operate in, where we first live in. The media is just an agent in the society.
The journalist is the one who bridges the gap between the members of the public and the information itself, that the messages that you get out there. I would say that the society is not actually friendly. Why? Why? Because a journalist most times is prepared to carry out his or her duties, his functions, that responsibility that the society has placed on the journalist. But how do the people who you work for react to that which you do? You know, when the keynote speaker, you know, he talked about he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Sometimes a journalist is really hoping to practice that which he or she has been taught, to practice that which is in the constitution of NUJ, to practice most of those things that the keynote speaker read out.
Some participants who spoke with Morrison Media Group described the anniversary lecture as enlightening and commended the organization for creating a platform that promotes dialogue on responsible media practice and societal development. They also urged media practitioners to remain professional and uphold ethical standards in carrying out their responsibilities, noting that Morrison Media Group has set a commendable example for other media organizations.
The event is quite educative, it's also informative, in the sense that we've come to hear from the Morrison Group. And the topic is quite elucidating, and we've learned quite a whole lot on the practice of journalism, how they operate, the encounters they have as they do their work, and those that are professional, and then the quacks, and then the ones that just write anything they see, and the interference of government and all of that. So for me, it's a total package, and it's good. We'll have a lot to chew as we go back and as we address the issue going forward.
It's a process to evaluate the performance of our dear brother and his organization. It also gives us the opportunity to review and evaluate the performance of media men and women in this state and this country, especially in this time of the political crisis.
Everything that happened on this planet Earth is by information. For example, God just said a word and the whole world came to being. It's an information. So I think human beings are learning from that. So this event is timely to educate us on how to utilize appropriate information correctly to grow the society where we live in.
Today's event is wow. That's just the best way to describe it. The Morrison Group is actually doing pretty well. Pretty well. Last year, I thought I got it all. But today's event, with the lecture provided by Professor Edachaba, it was down to earth. And I think we should actually, see how we can move the radio and television industry to the next level.
Highlights of the event includes comedy and musical performances, presentation of certificates to keynote speaker and chairman of the occasion by the chairman of the Morrison Media Group, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, as well as the cutting of the anniversary cake. The anniversary lecture forms part of the activities organized by Morrison Media Group to celebrate his contributions to media development and public engagement. I am Alawuru Praise, ATN News Port Harcourt.
Now, Mondo Gwebelo has redeemed the 30 million naira pledge he made to the Team Edo ahead of the Niger Delta Games. This is coming after Team Edo emerged as winners of a second edition of the Games with 52 gold, 34 silver and 25 bronze medals, finishing ahead of 8 other participating states. The governor redeemed the pledge during a reception held for the athletes and officials at the Government House, Benin City, and have also reaffirmed his administration's commitments to discovering, nurturing and investing in young sporting talent. Okwebelo congratulated the athletes, coaches and sports administrators for their dedication and discipline, which culminated in the state finishing at the top of the medals table, adding that the victory reflects the enormous sporting potential within the state and the determination of his administration to reposition Edo as a powerhouse in Nigerian sports. The governor recalled that during the opening ceremony of the competition, he had expressed confidence that the state would not only host the tournament but also win it, adding that his administration would continue to invest strategically in sports development, stressing that the talents discovered during the tournament would be carefully groomed to compete at national and international levels. African Democratic Congress in Cross River State has raised the alarm over what it described as an attempt to hijack the structure of the party in the state. A statement by the party's vice chairman for the Central Senatorial District, McFarland Eja in Calabar, who represented the state chairman, John Oga, alleged, I beg your pardon, that some individuals who are not recognized members of the party were planning to inaugurate a membership mobilization, registration and revalidation committee across the 18 local government areas of the state without the approval of the party leadership. He described the move as unconstitutional and an affront to the existing leadership structure of the party, adding that the group behind the move was largely made up of dissatisfied members of the opposition, while the other groups that had engaged with the party's fusion and engagement committee had worked harmoniously with the leadership. He also warned that the party would resist any attempt by individuals or groups to hijack its structure for personal political interests, and the development came amid tension in Calabar following reports of a clash between two factions of the African Democratic Congress, which prompted security intervention. Confirming the development, the police public relations officer of the Cross River State Command, ASP Sunday Aitokpa, advised members of the public to remain calm. Abia State Governor Alex Oti has approved the payment of arrears of payment pensions owed to surviving retirees of the Abia State Agricultural Development Program from 2000 to 2010. A statement by his Chief Press Secretary Njoku Ukoha said the approval is swift and compassionate response to a humanitarian appeal made by the affected retirees under the platform Surviving Abia ADP Retirees 2000 to 2010. He said the appeal was submitted through the Office of the Ombudsman and Public Complaints in collaboration with the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, and among the arrears already settled at 32-month salary arrears owed workers of Ogbonnaya Ono Polytechnic, formerly Abia Polytechnic, as well as areas of salaries owed disengaged staff of Ogbonnaya Ono Polytechnic, formerly Abia State Polytechnic, in Joko Ukoha, further underscores Oti's administration's commitment to righting the wrongs and long-standing injustice done to retired and active workforce and to improve their welfare. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has commended Abia State Governor Alex Oti for prioritizing education and human capital development, describing the state's reforms as a strong foundation for improving learning outcomes. The UNESCO head of office and country representative to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Dr. Jean Paul Ngome Abiaga, gave the commendation during a visit by a UNESCO delegation to the governor in Nvosi Ishalangwa, South Local Government Area of Abia State. Ngome Abiaga further commended the OT for the progress made in Abia State since 2023, particularly in infrastructure development, fiscal discipline, and education, adding that the reforms introduced by the OT-led administration since assuming office were already yielding visible results. Ngome Abiaga lauded the state government for allocating 20% of its budget to the education sector and disclosed that UNESCO has been working closely with the state government and its institutions, especially in the area of health education. Ngome Abiaga urged the state government to further deepen collaboration with UNESCO, increase budgetary provisions for health education, and expand partnerships in areas within the organization's mandate, stressing that UNESCO is ready to provide technical expertise and institutional support to the Abia State government in designing and implementing programs in education, health, education, and other areas within its mandate. Lagos State House of Assembly has recommended that residents affected by the demolition of waterfront communities in Makoko, Okoagbon, and Sogunro be relocated to the Agbowa area of Ebe in Lagos State. A statement from the Assembly's Public Affairs Directorate said the recommendation followed the adoption of a report by the House Committee on Rules and Business during plenary and the demolition exercise carried out by the state government displaced many residents, including the elderly, women and children, while homes and properties were destroyed. According to the committee, the affected waterfront communities depend largely on fishing as their primary source of livelihood and have historically lived on the water because of the nature of the occupation. The committee also observed that living conditions in Makoko and the surrounding areas deteriorated significantly after the demolition, leading to environmental and health concerns as well as heightened security risks. The Special Advisor on Research, Media and Documentation to the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, Adeshina Oyetayo, the recommendation by the Assembly comes against the backdrop of a controversial demolition exercise carried out by the Lagos State government in late December 2025 and early January 2026, targeting illicit structures in the Makoko, Okwagbon, and Shogunro waterfront communities near the Third Mainland Bridge. The operation displaced thousands of residents in these historic lagoon settlements, many of whom depend on fishing for their livelihood, and the development led to protests from community members and civil society groups who described the demolition as heavily handed and demanded clear plans for resettlement and compensation. Federal government has signed the hosting agreement for the 5th Intra-African Trade Fair 2027, with Lagos selected as the official host city for the continental event aimed at boosting trade and investment across Africa. The agreement was signed in Lagos in partnership with the African Export-Import Bank, the African Union Commission, and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, and the event also marks Nigeria's formal takeover of the hosting baton from Algeria, which hosted the 4th edition of the fair that generated $49.94 billion in trade and investment deals. Other highlights include the sovereign government network for regional and local government integration, country and private sector special days, the Africa Automotive Show, the AU Youth Startup Pavilion, and the Africa Research and Innovation Hub for academics and researchers. Speaking at the event, the chairperson of the Advisory Council and former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, in his opening remarks, described the hosting agreement as a milestone for both Nigeria and the African continent. Also speaking, the African Union Commissioner for Economic Development, Trade, Tourism, Industry and Minerals, Francisca Belobe, said the fair would help reposition Africa in the global trade landscape, adding that since its launch in 2018, the Intra-African Trade Fair has generated more than $167 billion in trade and investment deals and attracted over 180,000 visitors from 132 countries across its 4 editions. Nigeria Customs Service has seized 13 containers of prohibited, expired and falsely declared goods worth over 6.8 billion naira at the Apapa port. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, who disclosed this while addressing newsmen at the APMT terminals in Apapa, said officers of the command uncovered the contraband following detailed scanning analysis and physical examination. He also said another 20-foot container conveying 800 cartons of codeine was deliberately concealed inside toilets, flushing cisterns and sanitary ware, and 40-foot container conveying cartons of artesunate 60 injections. He also said a 20-foot container was conveying restricted security equipment, including bulletproof vests, helmets, walkie-talkies, and tactical torches, without the end-user certificate. Adeniyi said the importation of expired drugs and controlled substances poses a direct threat to public health, while the consumption of codeine-based products represents a calculated attempt to fuel substance abuse and undermine the nation's healthcare system, and also warned that Apapa Port is no longer a playground for smugglers or criminal syndicates hiding behind legitimate trade documentation. Management of the University of Lagos has chided the Varsity chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Universities for declaring an industrial action without following due process. This is coming after the ASU Union lag rose from the Congress held on Tuesday and asked lecturers to withdraw their services from Wednesday over what they described as amputated January and February salaries received. The chairman, ASU Unilag chapter, Professor Ido Kehinde, said the lecturers did not receive the full complement of their salaries, consolidated salary structure for academics, consolidated academic tools allowance, and professoral allowance. But Unilag, through its head communication unit, Adejoke Alaga Ibrahim, on Wednesday said the university would continue to engage with the ASU executive to address the issues, especially the unpaid consolidated academic teaching allowances, stressing that engagement with the ASU would continue, while the Unilag management said the ongoing students' examinations scheduled for Wednesday will proceed as planned. It, however, said courses for which students have been informed by their deans or heads of department that examinations will not be held will be rescheduled. Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission has fixed Tuesday, December 29, 2026, for the conduct of the election in the 33 local government areas of the state. The chairman of the commission, Babatunde Adeniyi, who disclosed this in a statement released in Ibadan, the state capital, said the statement dated March 4, 2026 was a result of the recently revised presidential and national assembly elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission from February 20, 2027 to January 16, 2027, a date previously scheduled for OISEC for the conduct of for the conduct of the LG election in the state. He said electioneering by the political parties will end 12 midnight on Monday, December 28, 2026, while the rerun election will be held on Tuesday, January 5, 2027, and urge political parties and relevant stakeholders to continue their preparations in accordance with the revised date and timetable. He also said the commission remained fully committed to conducting a peaceful, transparent, credible, and inclusive local government election. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Barrister Yusuf Miki has assured the residents of Abaji Area Council that the long-awaited University of Science and Technology, Abaji, will commence operations under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Miki gave the assurance during a thank you visit to Abaji, said the project will open up the area economically and create employment opportunities for residents, adding that the institution will play a major role in job creation and the development of the council area, while urging residents to remain patient as the government works to bring the project to fruition.
Now let me tell you this. The chairman said there are two areas are having problem of erosion. I have said that a road project that was abandoned. Let me tell you, even if you did not vote for us, you didn't vote for Mr. President, but because of the humility of your chairman, it has attracted us to say that we are going to give you support. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, therefore, the Honorable Abaji, go home and rest. These areas of erosion and the road they abandoned will be done. Remember, when I came on board, I visited the university. And you said you wanted the university to start that day. I said, no. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. But let me assure you what you should know. Under this president, that university will start operation. Now let me tell you, we are not building so many facilities. All I pray for you is to be patient. We have made a public that University of Science and Technology, under this administration, you will see the reality of it. So, distinguished Senator, let me assure you that, because with the emphasis here, you have shown how important that university is, not only to the people of Abaji, but to the entire residents of the Federal Capital Territory. I know what it will do. It will create a lot of jobs. It will open up Abaji as a town. So be assured, I will be happy, and I know I will be the one that will declare open the operation of that university.
The minister also pledged the construction of the Beseg Mango Bridge, which he said had been causing hardship for students and residents in the area, and further urged residents to continue supporting the federal government to attract more development projects that would be delivered to Abaji and other parts of the Federal Capital Territory under the Renewed Hope agenda.
One thing with me, when I see traditional rulers who are very truthful, I feel so honored that I have met you, even during our meetings with traditional rulers. I called you for a meeting, and you told me to go home, that you support Mr. President. And you understand your people. I don't think there's anything you request that we do heavy on us. No. Let me tell Mr. Chairman of Council to get a design for the Palace of Honor for Abaji. Let me also say, the Honor of Abaji, you made a very important request, but the powers conferred on me, all the second class traditional rulers have been upgraded to first class. And all the third class have been upgraded to second class. Because you have worked hard for it and you deserve it. So all I want to plead with you, continue to support Mr. President. You will see more good things to come. Now the young man who is the MC, he thought from MC to speak on behalf of the youth. I thought he was here to be the MC. I didn't know he has combined to also speak on behalf of the youth. When I was coming, I saw a placard or a protest about how students are suffering because of a small bridge. For us, nobody, God did not give us places to suffer. It's because when you have bad leadership. But thank God, the president is showing us the way and the right thing to do, and he has been giving us support. The Gurara Mango Bridge, consider it done.
Earlier, the returning chairman of Abaji Area Council appreciated the FCT minister for his support, which helped in his re-election, and also pledging that the entire Abaji Area Council would work in support of President Bola Tinubu re-election while requesting for completion of slated projects, including the FCT University of Science and Technology located in Abaji town.
Your Excellency, seeing you today in Abaji has given my people reassurance that Abaji is part of FCT and Abaji will not be abandoned, and Abaji will experience a lot of developmental projects under your leadership, sir. We want to tender our passionate appeal, pleading for the completion and approval for the commencement of University of Science and Technology, Abaji, Excellency. We have a Gulu erosion, which claims a lot of properties, one in Wadata and one in Model. Your Excellency, we are seeking for your aid. Your Excellency, there's an abundant project, road project, which was awarded in 2014. That project is abundant, sir. It's a 15-kilometer route, Pandagi to Rimba Ebagi. That project has been abandoned, and it is FCDA project, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we want to assure you that COF 2027, just go and sleep and believe that Abaji is for Mr. President. By your agent, if you fall for me, I fall for you. If you stand for me, I stand for you. So we are assuring you that we're going to stand by you 2027, inshallah, sir. Agreement is agreement.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Barrister Yesom Wike, has pledged to work closely with the newly elected Area Council Chairman in the Federal Capital Territory, irrespective of party affiliations, describing the arrangement as a rainbow coalition aimed at delivering development to residents. Wike stated this on Wednesday while playing host to the newly elected Council Chairman who visited him to present their certificates of return ahead of their swearing-in June.
Let me, on behalf of the Federal Administration, congratulate the brand new chairman of the various area councils. By the grace of God, God has made it possible for you to be re-elected and be elected. You worked hard for it, and we thank God for blessing your efforts. What I would want to say is, it does not matter the party. What's important is to work together. We have always worked together in the city since I came as the minister. And that's why we have always achieved results. Wherever I appeal to you, which I've always said, I did not have my feelings. I said, candidates were in support of Mr. President, and I will support such candidates. And all of you who are supporting Mr. President, thank God they emerged victorious. So, even the man in PDP, we know he's supporting this.
Fine. While congratulating the chairman on their victory, the minister urged them to prioritize governance for the benefit of the people, stressing that effective governance in the territory requires collaboration among leaders, regardless of political differences.
I will because the chairman of the DOT is there. We did what we call rainbow coalition in the FCT. Well, thank you very much. We believe that by the time you are sworn in June, then we would have given you our church. But be assured that we'll work together Now that you have won, you go and prepare. 2027 is soon more than the corner. You can see the support you give to you by Mr. President. One good turn deserves another. So, once more, I congratulate you. And to those of you who are leaving office, we don't know where the new course, what we'll be looking for. But we believe that God will carry your efforts wherever you are going to. Amen. So I thank you very much. And I know we're going to work on that today, which is our last day. Chairman, I hope you are ready. Yes. Okay, so thank you very much. God bless you.
Residents of Bondon Ward in Kaura local government area of Kaduna State have embarked on a self-help project to construct a double cell ring culvert on a road that connects 10 communities. The district head of Bondon, Morao Chiefdon, Mr. Jonathan Maman, who disclosed this on Wednesday, said the roads lead to government secondary school Bondon and other communities, notably Ungunwan Sankwai, Mutuak, Hain Gora, Sunbuanu, and Rafin Gora. He also said the project, which began on Monday, became necessary following annual rainfall that floods the road corridor due to lack of culverts, thereby cutting off communities and preventing residents from free movement, adding that the community have already procured 8 pipe rings, and one of the rings broke during offloading, leaving a balance of 9. He also said 25 bags of cement were procured with donations and contributions from community members, including a support from the chief of Mora, Ishiaku Tagwai Sambo, and Mrs. Ladi Bantex. And the decision for the self-help project was put because communities could not continue to depend on the government for everything. He called for more support from sons and daughters of the land, Kara Local Government Council chairman, political appointees from the area, and other well-meaning Nigerians to enable them complete the project before the rainy season begins. Gombe State contingent of forest guards has arrived at the mobile police training school in Osun State, where the training officially commenced as part of efforts by the Gombe State government to strengthen security and protect forest reserves. The recruits were deployed for the training after undergoing a rigorous screening exercise in Gombe, where approximately 700 candidates were vetted under the direction of Governor Inuwa Yahaya. The training is designed to equip the forest guards with the skills and operational capacity necessary to protect forest reserves, curb criminal activities, and support security agencies in maintaining law and order within forested areas and surrounding communities. The Director General of Press Affairs, Gombe Government House, Ismaila Misili, said the initiative formed part of the state government's proactive measures to address emerging security challenges, adding that the recruits were carefully selected through a transparent screening process to ensure only qualified and capable individuals can participate in the program. The initiative is part of a broader effort by the Gombe State government to enhance community-based security and protect natural resources across the state, and the development follows the federal government's approval for states to recruit forest guards who will be trained to protect forests nationwide. Kano State Governor Alhaji Abba Yusuf has relieved the state head of service Alhaji Abdullahi Musa of his appointment with immediate effect. A statement by the governor's spokesperson Sanusi Tofa said the decision is part of the ongoing effort by the administration to reposition the state civil service for greater efficiency, discipline, and improved service delivery across government institutions. The governor thanked the outgoing head of service for his contributions and dedication to the service of Kano State during his tenure. Yusuf also directed that the permanent secretary, administration, and general services at the cabinet office, Kisu Maimota, should serve in an acting capacity pending the appointment of a substantive head of service, and the governor further directed Musa to hand over the affairs of the office to the acting head of service not later than Wednesday, March 11, 2026. The development comes amid recent political realignments in Kano following the governor's defection from the new Nigeria People's Party to the All Progressives Congress, a move that has triggered adjustments across political and administrative structures in the state. First Lady of Yobe State, Hafsat Buni, has distributed food items to 2,000 vulnerable women across the state. Buni, who also serves as the state coordinator of the Renewed Hope initiative, said the gesture was aimed at supporting vulnerable women during the holy month of Ramadan across the 17 local government areas of the state. Represented by the Commissioner for the Yobe State Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Mairo Amshi, the First Lady said the Renewed Hope initiative will continue to empower women, strengthen community resilience, and support vulnerable populations across the state. According to her, the Ramadan packages contain essential food items including rice, spaghetti and cooking oil, which are meant to ease the burden on widows and vulnerable women during the fasting period, adding that the program is intended to reach vulnerable women across the state, providing not only food support but also restoring hope and encouraging empowerment. In her remarks, the Commissioner for the Yobe State Ministry of Women Affairs, Yajalo Banamas, said the gesture aligns with the vision and leadership of Mai Malabuni, who has consistently encouraged government officials to extend support and relief to the less privileged across the state. You're watching the Global News on Atlantis Television Network. We'll be back after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantis Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. Senators confirmed that the appointment of Professor Taiwo Oyedele as a ministerial nominee of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, following the screening and consideration by lawmakers who charged him to prioritize economic reforms, improve the ease of doing business, and promote local manufacturing. The confirmation followed deliberations during the plenary where senators examined the nominee's policy direction and readiness to address Nigeria's fiscal challenges, including rising public borrowing and weak capital budget. But during the session, the Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barawu urged Oyedele to take into account the country's vast mineral resources and the persistent underperformance of capital budget implementation in recent years.
So what do I see? What I've seen just looking at Nigeria's budget over the past 5 years in particular.
Apart from taxation, we have, we are endowed as a nation. We have solid minerals scattered all over the country. Even my village is gold. Kabo, there's gold in Kabo local government. But the issue is this: we've not been able to tap the appropriate revenue from our solid mineral. We're talking about only petroleum and so on and so forth. Now, as a minister of the Federal Republic, what can you do? What will you do differently so that we'll be able to harness, to harvest the revenue that we need to harvest from our solid mineral deposits through exploration and exploitation of this God-given endowment. What we see every day, we see the Chinese coming to exploit these minerals, take them away to their country. Not only Chinese, other nationals also do the same. But the fact is that when you look at our revenue package, the revenue framework, the revenue profile, we don't see much in terms of revenue coming from solid mineral in the revenue profile. What do you think you can do to make sure that we harvest what we need to harvest in terms of revenue to our nation when you become a minister?
Now,
other lawmakers stress the need for policies capable of strengthening domestic industries and reducing dependence on imports. And responding to the concerns raised, Oyedele observed that Nigeria's budget size remained disproportionately small relative to the scale of its economy, and further stressed on the need for deliberate and prudent utilization of public resources.
So what do I see? What I've seen just looking at Nigeria's budget over the past 5 years in particular is that we've had too many years when our budget seemed too ambitious compared to our revenue. We were not focusing on the revenue side. We were aspirational, which is good. But at the end of the day, I can say to you that today, federal government and states combined, we have nearly half of our budget, which is deficit financed. So what we need to then pay more attention to is realistic revenue to drive your budget, and whatever gaps you have to do cash management planning. You know, you've allocated an amount because an area is considered to be important. If there's no money to support it, it's as good as not having been allocated. In my role, if I'm confirmed by this distinguished Senate, will be to first try and create a picture of where we are, like a status quo analysis. In many countries, you even have quantification of what we call domestic arrears. If you are owing contractors, we should know it. We should say as of today, this is how much we are owing contractors. This is how much we have. This is what the gap is, and this is how we'll raise that money.
Following deliberations, Akpabio put the confirmation to a voice vote, which received overwhelming support from lawmakers, paving the way for Oyedele's appointment.
Taiwo Oyedele, and I also congratulate the President. Your intellect is never in doubt. I want to also congratulate you for what you did with the tax reforms. Your educative rambles around the country helped a lot to douse tension. And your appearance or appearances in various fora also assisted to educate Nigerians that it was a good thing for the taxes to be harmonized. And I think it brought down a lot of tension. So now, Mr. President has found it necessary to elevate you beyond being a special advisor to now being a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The confirmation is expected to reinforce the administration's ongoing fiscal and tax reform agenda aimed at improving revenue generation, infrastructure development, and overall economic stability. House of Representatives has given a legal backing to penalties on candidates who simultaneously belongs to more than one political party during an election. The Green Chamber took the resolution during the Constitution for the adoption of the 2026 Electoral Act amendment. The House resolved it will amount to automatic disqualification when a candidate belongs to more than one political party in an election, and a fine of 10 million naira and 2 years of imprisonment if intentionally involved in such practice. The amendment bill sponsored by Majority Leader of the House, Honorable Julius Ihonvere, which entails an alteration to Section 77 of the existing Electoral Act 2026 to prohibit double registration and enshrining some punishment making the affected person to lose membership of both political parties, was slated on the order paper of the House of Representatives for first reading. Speedily scaled through to its third reading. Earlier, the committee of the whole of the day's plenary members expressed worries that political parties they no longer belong to may use the amended clause against them during elections. But the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Carlo, who presided over the Constitution, explained that such fear need not arise, providing the candidate's standard letter of resignation before moving to the next party.
Where the commission detects that a person is registered in more than one political party, the commission shall notify the affected political party. The individual shall, within 14 days, elect in writing one political party to retain membership. Because we must guarantee the freedom of association.
If the name is found in 2 registers, if I register in PDP and leave PDP and register in APC, remember my name is in 2 registers, and somebody goes to court. After I have sent letter to the party that I have left, but my name is found in 2 registers, and somebody that wants to be mischievous sues me for belonging to 2 political parties. How do you officially terminate membership for you to be able to punish somebody for belonging to 2 parties?
Let me. It goes down to law of evidence, and which aspect of evidence, what is admissible? Your communication, letter of communication to the party will become evidential. When you communicated, become evidential. When they receive it, becomes evidential. That will guide you in your defense that I actually resigned and they were duly communicated. We cannot put everything into the law because it will be verbose.
In a related development, 5 members of the House of Representatives have defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and Labour Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress and Accord Party. In a separate defection letters read during plenary by Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, the defected members attributed their defections to what they called irreconcilable differences in their former political parties and the need to strategically position their constituencies in the mainstream political structure.
The primary reason for my defection is the protracted crisis and internal division currently plaguing the PDP, which has adversely affected its ability to maintain cohesion and deliver effectively on its mandate. This unfortunate turn of events has left me with no choice but to seek a more stable political platform through which I can better serve the interests and aspirations of my constituents. I acknowledge and appreciate the support I've received from colleagues in the PDP over the years. Nevertheless, the current challenges besetting the party makes it untenable for me to continue under the present circumstances. By joining the APC, I hope to align more closely with a leadership and policy framework that will benefit the people and indeed our nation at large. I respectfully request that you kindly bring this letter to the attention of the honorable members of this chamber and take all necessary steps to effect and reflect my new party affiliations in the House records.
House of Representatives Committee on Finance has ordered the Management of Corporate Affairs Commission to immediately deregister NBET Finance Company PLC, saying the company is illegally registered by Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC and using the names of 2 private individuals unknown to the extant law. Chairman of the committee, Honorable James Faleke, gave the order following a resolution reached by the committee during its resumed review of the revenue monitoring exercise of MDAs between 2023 and 2025 and argued that it is illegal for the Corporate Affairs Commission to register another business name as NBET when there is an existing one, stressing that it contradicts business law. Responding to the committee, the NBET Managing Director, Dr. Johnson Akina, said NBET Finance Company PLC was registered as a special purpose sponsored by NBET pursuant to policy directives from the Federal Ministry of Finance.
Your auditor's report, which is here, which my colleague referred you to, your report of revenue is underreported. You reported 6.5 as against 6.8, right? This is audited report, which you attach to your document. Next time when you have this type of document and you have the appropriation, you said in your report, you said 2023 appropriation, okay? 1.7. If you so have approval, you will not report 1.7. You will report the approval that you have. And your approval should also have been spread along the line. That's where my colleague is picking you up to say that you cannot have an appropriation of 100 million and you spend 300 million. Across board, you have an approval of 30 million, you spend over 222 million. That's where, in his own wisdom, he moved that your document is not properly done and that it will allow you to go back and make a better presentation. However, this document remains with us until you prove otherwise. All right? So you have to come back to us when.
Upon the approvals for the Federal Executive Council and Mr. President for MBED to sponsor the incorporation of the SPV to raise this bond, we proceeded to do the incorporation with directors of the company. The first incorporation we did with directors of the company as MBED directors, and MBED holding the shares 100%. But when we took the documents to finance, they said no, that this is supposed to be an entity that is not connected to MBED, because MBED is already encumbered with significant debt, and this they wanted a fresh company that has zero debt to be able to approach the capital market to raise funds. So they said it should be, even though MBED by the FEC approval is the sponsor, MBED should not be a shareholder, or government should not be a shareholder on that company. Rather, that for bankruptcy remoteness, the entity, MBED should assign the right to a trustee who will hold the shares on behalf of government. And therefore, that trustee is Sakore Securities, and the names you are seeing there are the lawyers. For Bertrand was the lawyer that did the incorporation, and the other was Olufemi.
In a later development, the committee issued a 14-day ultimatum to the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Olubimi Koku, to recover the sum of 19 billion naira owed by foreign airlines. According to FAN, from the total sum of 30.988 billion naira owed by foreign airlines, as at 31st December 2025, the amount dropped to 18.984 billion naira as at 9th March.
So 2026 will be the most current. So this is the equivalent in naira, and that's what comes to us. So CBN, for example, all the money that we get, so IATA collects on behalf of the airlines, they send to CBN. CBN only gives us naira. Yes, yes. They convert and give us naira. So we don't.
They pay in USD to CBN.
It's a mix of what they pay to CBN. Some in dollars, some in naira, but most in naira. Most of our revenue is in naira, not in dollars. But we only get access to the naira equivalent. So as I was explaining, 1 to 30 days is 1.16 billion. Lufthansa is owing us 1.5 billion, of which 390 million is current, and then 1.1 billion is 1 to 30 days, and 31 to 90 days is 2 million naira. British Airways, current is 476 million, 1 to 30 days is 980 million. Virgin Atlantic, 344, 1 to 30 days is 638, 31 to 90 days is 375 million. KLM is owing us 1.252 billion, of which current is 223,757,000. 1 to 30 days is 809 million. 31 to 90 days is 219 million. Egypt Air is owing us 1.1 billion, of which 414 million is current, 732 million is 1 to 30 days, 31 to 90 days is just about 5,000. Ethiopian Air is owing us a total of 1.127 billion, of which 1.1 billion is current. There's a credit of about 1 million in 1 to 30 days. 31 to 90 days is 74,000. 91 to 180 days is 12 million. Air France is owing us about $1 billion. Current is 361 million. 1 to 30 days is 717 million. Royal Air Maroc, the total being owed to us is 940 million, of which 248 million is current, 526 million is 1 to 30 days, 31 to 90 days is 166. Turkish Airline is owing us 885 million, 441 million is current, there's a credit of 348 million, 31 to 90 days is 521 million, 91 to 180 days is 212 million, 181 days and above is 10 million, over a year is 46 million. Africa World Airlines is owing us about 746 million, of which 77 million is current, 356 million 1 to 30 days, 312 million is 31 to 90 days, 185,000 is 91 to 80 days. The total as of March on our IATA platform is 18,983,673,000.
The committee directed FAN to report back with 2 weeks. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we leave, another look at the major stories. Fubara swears in 5 commissioners, reps endorse penalties for dual party membership. Court grants PDP factions permission to settle conversion dispute. Petron hails Dangote refinery domestic supply chain. Italy Prime Minister condemns massacre of schoolgirls in Iran. Iran pulls out of 2026 World Cup. Singer Timaya insists marriage doesn't work. I am Favour Chikwesiri Michael. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on social media platforms on Twitter now, X at Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, and on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. And don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. To have a wonderful night rest.